दोस्तों आपने देखा वेपन्स लेआउट हमने आपको ग्राउंड शीट पे दिखाया था। 8 अलग किस्म के हथियार जो यहाँ पे इस ट्रिपल डिफेंस दिस कंपनी यहाँ पे बनते हैं। अब हम यहाँ पे आपको दिखाएंगे कि हथियार डिजाइन कहाँ पे होते हैं। आइए मेरे साथ। ये इनका है डिजाइन स्टूडियो और यहाँ पे मिस्टर गिरधर हैं, हम इनसे मिलेंगे। हेलो मिस्टर गिरधर, कैसे हैं आप?
Nice meeting you.
And nice meeting you too, and thank you for appearing on our show. अच्छा, अब आप बताइए ये क्या होता है, यहाँ पे डिजाइन होता है?
Basically, this is all about the design. What I call it as a kitchen, basically, of our entire facility. So here is the where we design the things, and we also have basically we call it as a design area as well as a war area, where we have the brain, all the brain sitting here and discussing on the various things and coming up with the new ideas. So for example, if at all we consider this is a drop-in trigger.
Acha.
So as of now, no air platform weapons have a drop-in trigger, and this is the one what we have designed.
What is a drop-in trigger?
Drop-in trigger, see, what happens, this is the part. In this part, what happens, each and every individual parts has to be set into this, okay? This becomes complicated. The manufacturing error, everything accounts here. In our case, what happens, this is the only part which we are coming up. Okay, this can be separately assembled and tested. So this assembly will be bringing it up and putting it here with just the help of 1 down, 2 down, and 1 screw in the bottom. This will be set.
Acha, aapka, what's your name here?
Sudarshan,
is it? Sudarshan, what are you doing right now?
So I'm in the process of developing DA trigger for DMR.
What is DMR? Can you show us a photograph or a image of the DMR?
Yeah, this is the DMR which we are developing right now. This is designated marksman rifle.
Designated marksman
rifle. The marksman who's with sniper uses this rifle.
Okay.
So this is basically in between assault rifle and sniper.
Okay.
So in this now I'm incorporating the drop-in trigger.
Okay.
So that's the process now I'm in.
So not only the drop-in trigger is trying to implement here, incorporate here, he is also trying to incorporate a two-stage trigger, two-stage drop-in trigger. So what happens in a single stage? Here the person with the sniper will not be able to take the aim or even bring this trigger up to a level where he want to shoot. So in drop-in trigger, what happens? You will be able to take it or leverage this trigger to a level where he can aim it and he knows where exactly he want to trigger. So that is the advantage of the two-stage trigger. Where he wants to press the trigger.
So there will be two press.
Two press.
So that's called two stage.
There will be first stage where he can listen the tuck sound so that he is ready now for shooting. That is the second stage.
So he gets a warning.
Yeah, he gets a warning.
A second before it.
Yes.
Tuck and then boom.
That will increase the accuracy.
And that will increase the accuracy because it's not a sudden then thing that happens. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So we are into development of our own magazines also. We do the magazines of our own. As we all know that we are from the spring company, we develop our own springs. Okay. Yeah. So this is one more of the important workstations what we have here.
Yes.
So here, I think Mr. Rishi will take on from here.
Yeah. So Rishi, tell us what is this that you're designing?
Yeah, this design is like a P72. It's like our AK version. So normally AK has a old design. You've seen that. So this one is incorporated for non-reciprocating charging handle.
Okay.
And flip-up dust covers.
Okay.
And foldable adapters and butt stocks. Okay. And one more thing, the useful this one ambidextrous selectors.
Okay.
So it will help for firer. And also it's
ambidextrous to both the sides.
Yes, both the sides.
Left shoulder, right
left
shoulder.
Left or right side? Right side.
Yeah. Okay.
And it has a foldable buttstock also.
Yeah.
Okay. All the AK versions doesn't have. Our version of AK has a foldable buttstock.
And basically it's non-ambidextrous selectors is having AK. But we have using ambidextrous selectors.
All right. So thank you very much, Rishi.
Yeah.
It was indeed a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So this is where the design,
we call it as a war room, we call it as a design room, we call it as a brainstorming room. Everything happens here. The kitchen of this factory is this room.
This is the kitchen of the factory.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Girdhar, for speaking to us. It was really a pleasure. Friends, with Mr. Girdhar, उन्होंने बताया ना यहाँ पे जितने भी वेपन्स हैं ये खुद ही डिजाइन करते थे कि ये खूबसूरती है इस कंपनी की, ये खुद डिजाइन करते हैं, खुद कंसेप्चुअलाइज करते हैं, खुद मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं, सब कुछ, एवरीथिंग इज इन हाउस एक्सेप्ट फॉर वेरी फ्यू कंपोनेंट्स दैट आर आउटसोर्स्ड एंड वो भी विद इन इंडिया मोस्टली। सो मैगजीन भी खुद बनाते हैं, वेपन भी खुद बनाते हैं। अब इनकी एमुनिशन की फैक्ट्री भी यहाँ से 200 करीब 200 किलोमीटर दूर इनकी एक एमुनिशन की फैक्ट्री है, 150-200 किलोमीटर दूर। दे हैव अ सेपरेट एमुनिशन फैक्ट्री, सो एवरीथिंग इज इन हाउस एंड आई थिंक दिस इज अ ट्रू रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ आत्मनिर्भर भारत। Friends, we often talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat, the capability and the ability of a country to design, manufacture and operate its own weapons. One of the companies in India that is doing it fantastically well is SSS Defence. And today, matter of great honor and privilege for me to have with me the chairman and managing director of the SSS group, Mr. Satish Machani. Welcome to our show and it's indeed a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, Major. Pleasure is all mine.
So, where did this idea of setting up a weapon? This is not normal in the sense that people would have a washing machine factory or people would have a car manufacturing company or a motorcycle manufacturing company. You said, okay, good idea, let me make sniper rifles. How did that come into being?
So, Major, first of all, I want to tell you that I'm a big fan of yours.
No, thank you very much. Very kind of you.
An ardent follower of your shows.
Thank you.
I think getting the perspective from a defense expert gives insights that normally people don't get.
Thank you very much.
So, having said that, you're talking about our journey. Our group is almost 70 years old. We've been in the field of manufacturing for as long as we've been there. So we primarily focused on manufacturing automotive components, and that specialized in spring manufacturing. Now, as you know, any weapon systems like the ones that we have here would have anywhere between 20 to 25 different springs in a weapon system. So we've supplied these components, these springs, to ordnance factories for over 3 decades, maybe even 4 decades, as a matter of fact. So as a company, we had the DNA of supplying to weapon systems. I must personally have been to many of these ordnance factories. I've gone there to try my springs. I've understood how it works and how critical it can be. A simple spring failure can make the weapon, fail basically, and can't afford failures in a weapon system. Unlike in, let's say, supply to automotive or any other field, if it fails, there is still a comeback. But when a soldier is there at the weapon, it's you understand the impact.
Yes.
Of it. So we've always been associated with making springs for weapons, and also we make links that used to go for the belting of ammunition. So this is DNA that existed. So for us, when the sector opened up in 2014, when the private sector was allowed to play in this field, I was one of the first few guys to apply for license because it was always there in me to see if we can foray into this in this field. So we made sure that we got a good team in place, and we started the journey. We started as a startup. Really, we did not have a focused goal to start with. We wanted to see what we can achieve in a given period of time, and the fact that we put in a good team in place. And within a couple of years, we were able to come to a situation where we could do a lot of R&D, design our own weapon systems. And from there, idea just grew. And parallelly, we said a gun or a weapon system without the right fuel, which is the bullet, they go coherent. Unless they are teamed together, the system doesn't work. So this is the basic genesis of this idea that came. And here we are.
Initially, when you started at least thinking about it, when the government said private players are welcome, and this is after 2014, I said, okay. There would have been many people who would have told you that don't get into it. Because this is not something that is for everybody's consumption. It's not like, a guy walking on the road will suddenly decide to buy a 9mm pistol. He can't buy it. It's a prohibited bore weapon. What inspired you saying that, okay, let me make something which has got a very niche sort of a market, number one. Number two, it's a very difficult market to play in.
Absolutely.
It's not like selling soap. This is absolutely, I mean, there are government regulations, there are GSQRs to deal with, and we want this and we want that, and there are 20 people wanting 20 different things, and everybody wants the best at a very, very competitive price. I'd like to understand why you said this is a risk worth taking, I should do this.
So, Major, to be very honest, of course, I knew that this was a complex game. It was not a simple business to enter in. But frankly, a lot of it was learned along the way. So, including the concept of applying for license, the kind of procedures that is there, the amount of interviews that I had to make sure that I was not an antisocial element, so on and so forth. I did not know. All this we learned along, including the procedures that is there on procurement, how difficult the whole system can be. All this we learned along the way. The one key thing that we always had as a team is resilience. We learned. Anything and everything was learned only through failures. So one thing that we knew is many times over, we failed. But I believe always failures are the steps to success. So has it been an easy journey? Absolutely not. Is it for everybody? Absolutely not. You have to have absolute resilience and confidence and endurance to do what we did.
Absolutely. And also, there are friendly foreign countries that are now buying your weapons. How does it feel when your weapons made in Bangalore in India go abroad and people say, fantastic weapon, this is what we were looking for? Did you imagine one day that you'll send it abroad?
Absolutely not, to be honest, at least in the initial phases. But I have to be very clear, Major, that we initially thought of actually going the standard route like everybody does, do JVs and so on and so forth. But we quickly realized when we attempted one of these partnerships that everything would be controlled by a foreign partner. In my other group of companies, I do have partners, Japanese partners and so on and so forth. And I know that they control the key things. They let you do the manufacturing, the hard metal bashing, and they even control the market. So that is one thing I did not want in this defense space. So we endured and we learned, and we in fact went against the best class in the world. Some of them have been manufacturing for more than 200-300 years. And for us to be able to match them or even better them and to be able to export out of India is a huge pride. I think it's a national pride. I'm very proud of my team who made this happen. I have a fabulous team of 85 people, core engineers, metallurgists, even snipers who form part of our team. I'm so proud of them. These are people who have been in the front. So for us to export is a huge validation of what we have done.
Absolutely. And also for us as Indians, when your weapons say made in Bharat, they don't say made in India, they say made in Bharat. And people in your team also say born in Bharat. So when this goes to foreign shores, obviously it's a matter of huge pride for us, especially weapons that India is not. No, this is not software. This is not manufacturing of motorcycles, and this is not manufacturing of trucks, etc., which India is known for. This is manufacturing of weapons that India is not known for. And suddenly a company from one end of Bangalore comes up and says, hey, we are supplying to the world. I think it's a big deal. My last question, or if not the last, at least the second last question, let me ask you is I've seen your factory and all your weapons are made in-house, barring a few components that may be outsourced within India only, but all your major stuff is made inside where we are sitting right now. I've seen very large weapon factories, at one time ordnance factories were hundreds and hundreds of acres, and they would produce one weapon, and that factory would be known for that one weapon, and whatever, that factory would make one. Here you have a compact factory, you've got world-class machines, and you're making world-class weapons. I'm saying world-class because the world is now buying it, so I can say world-class weapons. And how is this efficiency achieved, this compactness achieved?
It's a very good question, Major. And as I was mentioning, we have been in the manufacturing space for 7 decades. And everything is driven by efficiency, especially if you want. It's a very competitive market in the space that we've already engaged in. So we have learned a lot from companies like Toyota, who have lean manufacturing systems. So The concepts such as Kanban, keeping lean inventory, optimizing space, this is there in our DNA. Generally not known in the weapon industry. I've been to many weapon factories globally. They are now trying to implement lean manufacturing now. But fortunately for us, this DNA was there built in us. We've been doing this efficiency running for, like I said, several decades. So when we conceived this factory, right from the layout to the machine selections, to the process flow, to selection of materials, to selection of people, what kind of talent to be imparted for them to do their respective job, everything was planned well in advance. And that's why we have made this possible in the most compact manner and also very flexible. Like you said, we already have 8 different types of weapons in our coming from this small factory, so to speak. But the key thing is we have a testing range. So every time we do this, we go back, we go test, we proof it, and whenever there's failures, we come back, rework, go back. Even the engineering is right here, so everything is controlled. So
design, engineering, manufacturing, everything is here.
This is truly IDDM, Indian Design Development Manufacturing. Everything is in-house. So answer to your question is this DNA of efficiency building has always been there.
Okay. The last question is, because I promised I said second last and then I said last, what ahead? What are you planning ahead? 8 weapon platforms today. What is your next move?
There are plenty of plans, Major. Actually, we have a 3-year goal and also a 10-year goal. I'll come to the first 10-year goals. I think the weapon systems are undergoing changes, and it will go. There will be more AI-oriented systems that will get integrated into the weapons. I think that is one area we've already talked about. We have to make some initial steps. We have done some initial steps, but there's a lot of progress that's going to happen in that. Our immediate goal would be, if you notice in our weapon systems, one thing we don't do yet is the scopes. Scopes is something that we still get from overseas or even locally. But that's something that space that we would like to enter in. Other than that, we've talked about many other platforms in the ammunition side and some more weapons as well.
So thank you very much for speaking to us. Friends, with Mr. Satish Machani, Managing Director, Chairman of SSS Group. He told us everything about how they started almost 70 years back manufacturing springs and how springs are tied to weapons. And today they manufacture, not just manufacture by the way, design, manufacture and export from here in Bengaluru, world-class weapons. Now come with me, I'll take you to the factory. I'll show you how these weapons are actually made. And once we've showed you how they are made and the design component and the quality control that goes into them, then I'll take you to the firing range and I'm going to fire some guns. So let's go, fire some guns.